Welcome to the 700 Club. Day one of the Senate impeachment trial is completed. The prosecution and defense battled over trial rules for more than 12 hours.
Late into the night, tempers flared and Chief Justice Roberts gave a stern rebuke. Capitol Hill correspondent Abigail Robertson reports on the contentious kickoff.
A tense day on Capitol Hill.
Lord, as our senators prepare to gather for today's impeachment trial, we declare that you alone are our hope.
As the Senate gavelled in,
the Senate will convene as a court of impeachment.
A lengthy battle ensued over the trial rules laid out by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
Sets up a structure that is fair, even-handed, and tracks closely with past precedents.
Democrats came out the gate demanding votes on a series of amendments to the rules.
A trial without evidence is not a trial. It's a cover-up.
Senators are only permitted to drink water or milk on the Senate floor as they listen to the prosecution.
The oath requires you to do impartial justice, which means to see the evidence. To see the evidence. That's all we're asking. Just don't blind yourself to the evidence.
And the defense.
Are we here because of a phone call? Or are we here before this great body because since the president was sworn into office, there was a desire to see him removed?
This morning, the president weighing in from Davos, Switzerland on Tuesday's events.
I got to watch glimpses of what is taking place, wasting time in Washington. We're doing very well. I got to watch enough. I thought our team did a very good job, but honestly, we have all the material. They don't have the material.
While lawmakers vote along party lines for now, 3 GOP senators are open to demands to hear from witnesses later in the trial.
I think it's important to hear from John Bolton and perhaps other witnesses.
As the arguments went late into the night, a clash over witnesses bringing a rebuke from Chief Justice John Roberts.
President Trump does not want you to hear from Ambassador Bolton. And the reason has nothing to do with executive privilege or this other nonsense.
The only one who should be embarrassed, Mr. Nadler, is you.
I think it is appropriate at this point for me to admonish both the House managers and the President's counsel in equal terms to remember that they are addressing the world's greatest deliberative body.
Trial rules allow each side 24 hours to present their case over 3 days. House managers will begin their prosecution when proceedings pick back up today as the Senate jury sits silently and listens. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Well, if you want to watch the proceedings, we have it for you on the CBN News app. All you have to do is download it. You can watch it on a phone, tablet, or a smart TV, or any of the devices listed at the bottom of that screen. You can download it today. We're going to be live streaming the entire proceedings, and so if you want to watch, download the app. In other news, the deadly coronavirus has been spreading rapidly in China, and now the United States has recorded its first case. John Jessup has more on that story from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
That's right, Gordon. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirms the viral infection of a Washington state man who returned from China's Wuhan province last week. The patient is said to be doing well, but being kept in isolation at a hospital near Seattle. A Washington state public health official says the public risk is low. National health authorities are stepping up surveillance at 5 airports across the United States to detect others possibly carrying the virus into the country. So far, at least 9 people overseas have died from the coronavirus, which can be spread by human contact. It's infected more than 400 people in China. The Supreme Court will not take up a case that threatens to dismantle the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare. The court was asked to weigh in on the law's constitutionality after a federal appeals court struck down the individual mandate requiring Americans to purchase insurance and then sent the case back down to a federal judge in Texas who previously threw out the law to review how much of it can remain intact. The High Court refused to fast-track the case. Obamacare advocates hope to put the issue front and center in the presidential election.